Hey football fans, I'm Alex and welcome back to my YouTube channel. We got a couple of big topics to discuss in football. First off, we have the Heisman Trophy candidates, 4 college players with an opportunity to win the greatest recognition for a college football player. We also have to discuss Bama's resurgence into the #1 spot. And we also got to talk about the New England Patriots and their old school way of winning football. Let's begin with the Heisman Trophy candidates. 4 players on the finalist list, and their names are Bryce Young, Aiden Hutchinson, CJ Stroud, and Kenny Pickett. 3 of these players are quarterbacks, while Hutchinson is the only defensive player on the team. Kenny Pickett is the quarterback out of Pittsburgh. He is the only senior member of these finalists. He currently has 42 touchdowns on the year, which is the most for an ACC player. It is also how he was able to contribute to Pittsburgh's conference championship. And he started a trend with the fake slide in the ACC championship. And I tell you what, that fake slide really got me because it almost looked like he was going to hurt his own ankles, but he was able to just pick himself up really fast and score that touchdown. CJ Stroud is the freshman QB out of Ohio State. The quarterback has over 3,800 yards passing and scored 6 touchdowns over the Michigan State Spartans. That victory increased his chances at a Heisman. However, there are 2 players on the list that may have a better case than CJ Stroud. Aiden Hutchinson is the defensive end for the Michigan Wolverines and the recent Big Ten Championship MVP. He is also the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year with a record of 14 sacks and an ability to disrupt the offensive line just like J.J. Watt and Myles Garrett. Hutchinson had 3 sacks against Ohio State and a total of 7 solo tackles in that game. He is even predicted to be the #1 overall pick in this year's NFL Draft. The last member, and possibly the most expected to win the trophy, is Bryce Young of Alabama. The sophomore for the Crimson Tide has the second most touchdown passes in the country with 43 touchdown passes. It also helps that he threw for 421 yards and 3 touchdowns against the highly ranked Georgia defense. All 4 members have their cases for the Heisman, however only one can win it. The Heisman Trophy will be presented on Saturday on ESPN. Let's go ahead and stay on Alabama and talk about their win over the Georgia Bulldogs. The stage was set in Atlanta. Alabama was ranked number 3 in the nation, while Georgia stayed in #1 since A&M's victory over the Crimson Tide. When that game began, I expected it to be a close game down to the wire with big defensive plays. I was only half right as both teams demonstrated their skills on offense. At halftime, Alabama led 24-17. And that's where Alabama began dominating. After the half, Bama scored 17 points in the second half, while Georgia did not score again until the fourth quarter. Alabama's Jordan Battle even had a pick 6 in the game after dropping a potential one in the first half. This game demonstrated Nick Saban's intelligence as a coach, and it just proves that Alabama is still one of the best football teams in college football. With Alabama moved up to #1 in the nation and in the college football playoffs, they will have a chance at reaching the national championship again if they win against Cincinnati. Now let's get to the NFL. The New England Patriots are now 9-4 on the season. That means a lot because they started off 2-4. What's worse is that they've won against the Buffalo Bills without even throwing the ball more than 3 times. Mac Jones only threw 3 passes and completed 2 of them. When I woke up to that stat, I had to double check my eyesight. Never in my life have I seen a team win a football game by only throwing 3 passes. Now in high school that's possible, maybe even in college, but in the NFL that does not sound right. The Patriots played a very conservative run game because of the strong 40-mile-per-hour winds. It was so strong that Belichick did not even kick a point after try. They decided to go for 2 after scoring a touchdown. What helped the Patriots was their rushing attack as Damian Harris rushed for 111 yards and 1 touchdown. Now before I go, let me give you my top 5 plays from last week's games. Number 5 is the Michigan trick pass play. I don't know if anyone saw it coming. The cameraman, the commentators, I think they were all a little bit shocked at that wide receiver pass. Number 4 is George Kittle's enormous touchdown run. That is a 6'4", 250-pound tight end that just ran for a touchdown down the sideline. Look at the speed, the amount of momentum that he had at running into the end zone for that touchdown. Now, I put that at number 4 because the next 3 were just awesome. Number 3, Detroit scores at the last second. Jared Goff on a 4th and goal with no time left on the clock finds a wide open wide receiver for the game-winning touchdown. That gave Detroit their first win of the season, and I bet you that the city of Detroit felt that victory. Number 2, Michael Gallup leapfrogs for a touchdown. After coming back from an ankle injury, Gallup scores on a jump pass. Personally, these are my favorite passes because it's an ultimate show of chemistry between the wide receiver and their quarterback, and it shows how much the wide receiver wants the ball and score that touchdown. At number 1, we have the Baylor goal line stand against Oklahoma State in the Big 12 championship. 4th and goal, and the Bears needed to stop the Cowboys from reaching the end zone. When I saw the running back go left to the sides, I thought Oklahoma might have a chance at scoring. Fortunately for the Bears defense, they were able to push the Oklahoma State player out of bounds 1 yard shy of the end zone. Any Baylor fan had to be screaming at the top of their lungs, yelling at the players to go after that running back. And fortunately for those Bear fans, they were able to do just that. Alright guys, who do you think will win the Heisman? Are the Patriots a playoff and Super Bowl contender? And is Alabama back to their original form? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you next time.